Hey, what's up, guys? So, because I think yet nobody really talked about it, I thought about making a video to the Foundry prep, or what people do or what people think about because of Foundry. There will be 2 videos on it. One I thought I'd just make a stream, and while I'm doing it, I'm just streaming it so you guys can understand. But there will be another video then, especially after that Foundry, just for the explanation. So the prep of Foundry. So what I firstly do is I go to the main page and have a look at the flags or the banner. And normally, based on the banner, you can see, it's not always that you will see it, but on the banner you can see if somebody already won a lot of Foundry or not, because the banner will change, you see, as the little things down here. And the second part, I always look, obviously, as everybody does, I believe, is the power. So the power of our people and the power of the other people. And then how many people are like required to make it. And the first 20 people, I'm not sure if it explains somewhere, to be honest, but the first 20 people, yeah, there. Yeah, there, okay. So this sentence means like the matchmaking points will be added through the 20 strongest player. So let's say you got more players here, only the first or the strongest 20 will count towards that power. So we always play Legion 1 with 15 to 17 people. So based on that, normally our people for the power should be stronger, but the opponent will be more. So, and what I do for prep is I write down every person I see who is like fighting with us. So let's just go to the corner. So I see that KYT is fighting. We make that a little bit bigger and maybe we go for red. And you of course don't have to do that, but I'm just showing you how some people do or work for prep and how some people are planning stuff. So that's the idea. Then myself, do it like this, arms, gas, and I will tell you later why I'm doing that. Then it's red, pink, and so on and so on. Make that all a bit smaller now. So we got pink, okay, and then we continue. We got dark, spicy, merry, miss, the best, ghost, who else? Yeah. So this gives you an idea of who is playing with us. So who is in Legion 1? And what we do then after that is we can make teams, because a lot of things are happening in Foundry at the same time, and you need teams to organize it better. So I think that's all right. So we should have 15 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 15 players we are fighting with. And then, based on the numbers and what we want to achieve, we make 2 to 3 teams. So a lot of people or alliances are fighting with 3 teams. Because we are only 15 people now, and we might be even just 14, we only do 2 teams. So then we go into, I just work with Canva, but of course you can work with everything else. And I just wanted to show you this overview and what is our prior 1 and what is our prior second, so first and second. And what I do is I look for the transit and for the prototypes, because the prototypes give a huge 6,000 on first control and gives the highest number per minute. That's why every person is rushing to the prototypes. You got 2 of them. Yeah? Okay, so, and transit here gives you the 50% cooldown on teleport, which is quite nice because the teleports will work as normal, but if you teleport once and then you teleport a second time, it costs double. So if you want to jump around or your alliances don't have a lot of TPs, this transit is really important. So what we then do is we look who is fighting, and then we got an idea of what we want to get and how we can position. And because we only have 2 teams, we will do 1 team for the bottom side, which covers, like, I will do that in, let's say, green. So we got 1 team which is like the bottom side. That's like this, for example, okay? And then there, the first priority is prototype, and for us today, the second prio is transit. And then we do the same. Let's say we take orange. We take the same for the top side. So that would be later with here, it would be like this, for example. Yeah, that's how we split the map. And boiler is to get the stuff a bit quicker. So if we go back to blue, and where's boiler? Here, boiler gives you the effect that you need 50% less time to hold on to a building. So that's the idea. But our first and second priorities for today will be prototype, both prototypes, and instead of transit here, the people will focus on boiler with the second march. That's our idea. And then later, let's say we're going to phase number 2. So this is the phase number 1, where munition and everything else is closed. So munition is closed, Imperial is closed, Mercury is closed. Then you focus on prototypes, transit, and boiler. We will do that, okay? And then on phase 2, these objects here, Mercury, Foundry, like Imperial in the middle, and munition will come up. Then our priority will change. So then we get, I'm not sure if that will work, but like that. Then our priority will change to these two buildings, munition and Imperial, like Foundry in the middle. And then because we got the map split on the bottom side and the top side, the bottom team, which was green, then got the priority munition first and prototype second. And if we can, it's transit third. Okay? These are our main priorities for the bottom team. The orange team, the top side team, then changes the priority because middle opened to middle. Let's make it like this, to here. Then the second priority will be prototype, and the third priority, if they can, will be boiler. That's the phase number 2. So when the 3 buildings are open. And now we know how to act, or how to teleport, or how to move around Foundry. The next thing we need to know is who does move where. Okay, so we put up everything and how we want to react and how we want to play. Now we need the people. So then we can make, like, we will just do a third side, why not? Just get rid of everything. And then we got the people. So we now just can make little adjustments to the text. Let's say we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 people on one side. Now you have to make that even. So you need 2 real strong player, or your 2 strongest player, on one team. So you got like KYT, or your top player. Let's say top player top side. We will make that orange then as well. Top player top side, and then we make top player bottom side, and these were green. I'm just showing you how I do that. You don't have to do it, but that's our way. So, and then you see the players, and you already know who is your strongest of your team. So the top player on the top side will be Dog and Spicy, and because I know who will get there and who is there, will be Arms and Miss. So, and then because you got the 4 players already here, you go here and you can delete them because you can't use them anymore to make your strategy. And then you go to the bottom side. After we made our teams, after we made our decisions, how we want to react or how we want to split the map on Foundry. So this is everything about prep. Then we go to the bottom side and we just do the other strong people. So we got KYT, myself, and then we got Nikki, Jacob, and hey, Jesus Christ, can't write anymore, and Ghost. So, and now because I have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, I can delete them here as well. So we got Nikki, Jacob, and Ghost. And now the rest of the people I can split. So let's say, can't really read that. We make it like that really quick. Jesus Christ. Yeah, maybe like that. Boop, 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 boop. So then we got the rest of the people here, and we just put them one line above. That doesn't really matter. So we get like Jazz, Red, and Isla. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the top, and we do 8 on the top side. So we can get rid of Gas, Red, Isla, and then we got on the bottom side the rest for our team. Tink plus Mary. So, and then you can delete it, and that's the top side. And then after we've done that, what I always do is I get like a little line or a little arrow whatsoever. Doesn't really matter. And then I tell the people where will we port. And we always port, or we will port today, we will port in the middle of our priors. Because we made the priors here and we decided where we want to go or how we split the map with our people, then I will just take another arrow and this team will go here. And then I just write the little text. We will label where to port. And you can put that down here maybe if you want. Let's say we take blue as color. So, like that. We will label where to port. So, we did our check who is playing. So, who is playing in our Foundry. Then we made our ideas or suggestions. What do we want to prioritize? So what buildings are we want to prioritize? By the way, you can always look that up here. I find it. Up. Yeah. So on these little like gift, and then here on the buildings, you always see what are the benefits of the building. So prototype gives the huge first control points, but has no benefits. And the munitions gives you the 15% more damage and 15% less damage. The Mercury does the attacking. So once every couple of minutes you can center attack to another building, which is quite good if you can like plan that or organize that with your rally. And then the boiler, I will do the boiler first, gives you the 50% less needed time to control a building. So let's say you need the first control of prototype, and that's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. And because you got boiler, it's only 1.5 minutes now. That's the idea. And for me, most important, because you sometimes have to port a lot, because the teleport is your way how to defend your city a lot. Because every time you get attacked, you could possible, if you know you would lose, port away. But there's a whole strategy to fighting. When to port, how to port. But in Foundry, it could be necessary that you teleport a lot. So that's why transit with the minus 50% cooldown on teleports is so important. So, and by the way, always use your buffs, the normal buffs, the buffs on your character, while in Foundry. So never use them before. Imagine you use a 20% bonus on attack, yeah, okay, and you will lose regardless of what you do in Foundry. So later when I upload the video of Foundry, you can use these buffs inside Foundry or start them. The only thing you should activate before are your pets. So activate the pets first, then go into Foundry, scan the opponent, but you will see that in the other video then. Scan your opponent, and then if you then decide to use buffs, then do that. Okay, so that's the idea of how we plan our Foundry. So I always take this map, I always put in every name who plays with us on this team. So for example, on the next Foundry, if we play with 20 people, then I would put 20 people inside, and then I would make 3 teams. But today we will play with 2 teams. Okay? Then you decide what are your priorities. So what is your first priority? What is your second priority? And what does that mean for you as a player? You got different marches. Okay? So for example, if I send out one march, my first march is always the strongest. So let's say if I just find a little thing here. So this is my first march. So my first march, if I don't get attacked, will go to the first priority. My first march goes to the first priority. Let's say they are gone. My first march is now gone. Then my second march, this would be my second march, just based on the game now, you know. Then my second march would go to the second priority, to transit, okay? And then I would send them. That's the idea of what is priority first and what is priority second. That's the important thing. And then if we switch and we go, to example, to phase number 2 and we switch our priorities, then I would take out my first march, for example, out of prototype, and then I would send my first march to munitions to hopefully cover it or to hopefully garrison in it. So that's the idea of priorities and how you change them. Little advice, if you get attacked personally, of course, it's always best to get your best march inside your city, so at home. Let's call it home. So often, for example, if you TP near to prototype, but I will explain that in the Foundry tutorial later then as well. But for example, if you teleport next to prototype and you get attacked, you can leave your strongest march at home anyway if another person garrisons it. So let's say KYT and myself are next to prototype. If the other strongest person, that's why I say you always need your 2 strongest player, so the 4 strongest player on each side, on each map side. Let's say KYT is in a prototype and I get attacked. Then I can leave my strongest march inside my city and just send the joiners, just send the joiner troop to the nearest priority. You don't have to always get your first march out of your home. That's the idea, but I will show that later in the other video. But for now, that's how we split the map. That's how we make our priorities. And when the priority changes, then your marches will change, like your first march and your second march. And then you plan where the people will go, and you will label that in the Foundry as well. So that's the prep for your Foundry. A disclaimer, or not really a disclaimer if it's at the end, but of course, if you got a strong opponent or things will change, you have to adapt. Okay? Let's say you got a huge, strong opponent who focus for whatever reason on the left side. So they want prototype, they want boiler, then they take both repairs. So they focus on the left side. Why? Whatever reason that might have. But then you of course adapt. Then you could say, okay, where are they strong players? Instead of fighting all the time, you can make your priorities different and split the map to the other parts to get like the other two repairs and hold them quicker. But that's just a side information. Of course, while Foundry is happening, you have to adapt. But if you want to prep or prepare anything for Foundry with your team, that's our way we do it. Of course, there's strategy to fighting, that's beside all notes, but you get the idea. And I don't want to tell everything twice. But get your names, see how many you got, split the map, set up your priorities, tell the people where to port, and then based on your priorities, you send your marches out. For example, first priority is prototype, then your first march will go to prototype. If you only are a joiner, so for example, I hold the prototype with my first march, but then your first march don't have to be in prototype. So your first march can stay at home, can stay at your city. And then you only join with your joiner heroes like Patrick, for example, whatever. But then you got a better defense on your home. That's the idea. That's how we're going to play today. I will now put that forward to our team. That's our preparation. That's how I look into the strength. By the way, if you want to look into the strength, you see that obvious on the numbers. Yeah. So for example, KYT has 3,500. So KYT is one of the top players. And then for example, you see the other one like 3,800. Then you put that on the other team. And based on that strength or power or whatever you want to call it, yeah, it's about troops as well in these power gaps. So don't worry too much about the numbers, but you know out of your team who is the strongest. You will know that. And then you put like always two strong players together because they can help each other. You put like the two strongest player for one side and the other two strongest player on the bottom side. Or how you want to set up your teams. Yeah. So that's it. I hope that helps some people. I will record the Foundry and put that up, and then I will make another Foundry video for the German community for a tutorial to explain how to fight and what to look for. But that's the idea of how we split the map, what buildings we are focusing, and then we will label that, of course, when Foundry starts. And that's it, guys. Right? So I will make the other Foundry videos then shortly. I got my marches already ready to fight for it. I hope you have a nice Sunday. Thanks for stepping by. Have a nice day all. It was a nice Foundry prep, and I wish you good luck at your Foundry. Bye.